In today's video, we look at 14 must-watch military documentaries. Military documentaries have been around for decades and provide a window into how wars defined history. They offer an insight into the soldier's life, the struggles, and their experiences. They evoke emotions of pride, sacrifice, patriotism, heroism, and tragedy all at once. From the depiction of conflicts in far-off lands to the impact these conflicts have had on our society, every documentary has a story that deserves to be told. Here are some of the best military documentaries ever made that are an absolute must-watch. If you like our videos, support us with a thumbs up, subscribe to Factual America, activate the little bell, and look forward to the videos we upload for you every week. First up is RESTREPO, 2010. RESTREPO is a gripping, honest, and deeply moving documentary about the soldiers stationed in remote Afghanistan. The documentary follows the soldiers from the beginning of their deployment to their last day on the battlefield. It gives the audience an understanding of the hardships that the soldiers encounter and the sense of brotherhood that develops among them. Next up is Standard Operating Procedure, 2008. This documentary offers a gut-wrenching look at the aftermath of the Abu Ghraib prison scandal. Standard Operating Procedure provides a glimpse into the soldiers' mindset and their motivations behind the atrocities committed in Iraq. It's uncomfortable to watch at times, but it's an honest account of the dark side of war and its profound impact on the individuals involved. Our number 3 is Hearts and Minds, 1974. This powerful documentary delves into the moral complexities of the Vietnam War and how America became involved in it. The documentary takes an anti-war stance, showing the horrors of the war and how it ravaged the civilian population. It is an emotional, powerful, and unforgettable account of the conflict and is an important historical document that shouldn't be missed. TRANSMILITARY, 2018, is another must-watch documentary that highlights the struggles of transgender people serving in the military. It follows the lives of 4 transgender service members as they fight for their right to serve their country while being true to themselves. Their courage, tenacity, and dedication to serving the country they love are truly inspiring. At number 5, we have Last Days in Vietnam, 2014. This documentary tells the story of how the U.S. rushed to evacuate thousands of South Vietnamese citizens, soldiers, and refugees from Saigon during the final days of the Vietnam War. The film provides a humanizing view of the conflict, highlighting the bravery and compassion of those who risked their lives to save others. The Fog of War, 2003, is an in-depth interview with former U.S. Secretary of Defense Robert McNamara about his experiences during World War II and the Vietnam War. He discusses the decisions that were made and the consequences that followed. McNamara's candid and frank admissions about his actions during that turbulent era make this a must-watch film. Why We Fight, 2005, is a compelling documentary that explores the reasons for America's involvement in war and how war is promoted as a tool of politics and foreign policy. It provides a fascinating look into the military-industrial complex and the ethical and moral considerations of war. At number 8, we have The Battlespace of the Future, 2021. The Battlespace of the Future is a documentary that explores the emerging technologies that are changing modern warfare. It provides an insight into the future of warfare and how technology will continue to transform our armed forces. Next up is The Invisible War, 2012. The Invisible War is an insightful documentary that explores the disturbing issue of sexual assault within the military. It sheds light on the reality that many soldiers face and the lack of accountability and justice that exists for these survivors. This documentary is both heartbreaking and informative, and is a must-watch for anyone interested in understanding the prevalence of sexual assault in the military. Here we have No End in Sight, 2007. Through the eyes of policymakers and generals, Charles Ferguson's riveting documentary captures the untold story of the Iraq War. No End in Sight analyzes the issues surrounding the war and explains why it became such a miserable failure. The film presents a bleak picture of what went wrong with the war and all the opportunities the United States missed. It's a gripping and captivating film that has received accolades from viewers, critics, and military personnel alike. This documentary, Special Forces: Untold Stories, 2001, is a front-row seat to the entirety of a Special Forces soldier's experiences. It covers everything from their rigorous training to their missions in the field. The documentary highlights the impact that these individuals have had both personally and as a group on the world's front lines. The documentary is fantastic and tells an untold story like no other. PLATOON 2014 is a fascinating documentary that follows the story of a platoon in the parachute regiment during their toughest moments. It sheds light on all that goes on behind the scenes as soldiers train and prepare for their roles serving their country. Over the course of the film, viewers will see firsthand the training and preparation undertaken by parasoldiers and just what it takes to become one. The film also brings forward the harsh realities that these soldiers face when they are on the front lines. At number 13, we have Surviving the Cut, 2010. Surviving the Cut is a grueling, behind-the-scenes look at the intense training that soldiers must undergo in order to be part of one of the most elite fighting forces in the world, the United States Special Forces. This documentary gives viewers a hint of the pressure, determination, and willpower that an individual must possess to make it through the intense training. From underwater submersions to airborne jumps, viewers can understand just what it takes to be part of the U.S. military's most trained forces. Lastly, we have I Am VANESSA, GUILLEN, 2022. This documentary, directed and produced by Christy Wegener, tells the story of Private First Class VANESSA GUILLEN. I Am VANESSA GUILLEN sheds light on her plight. In 2020, after suffering from sexual assault by a superior, VANESSA was murdered by a fellow soldier at Fort Hood Army Base outside Killeen, Texas. The documentary explores the military's attempts to silence GUILLEN's family and her family's successful campaign to win justice for their sister and daughter. Military documentaries offer an invaluable insight into the lives of soldiers, their struggles, and the costs of war. These allow us to gain a deeper appreciation for the brave men and women of our armed forces. Watching these documentaries is a humbling and sobering experience that sheds light on a world that few civilians ever see.